first question for you. This is your first feature film in a little while, so I was wondering what inspired the choice to stick with the series format for so long? Is that a format that you find especially creatively fulfilling, or is it more about, the directions that the industry winds blow you in?
I think it's a little bit of both, because one thing that's nice about working on series is that you could experience a lot of different types of storytelling, different genres. So I think for just filling your toolkit, it's great. And there have been so many good shows in the past few years that, there's ones where you just, I can't pass up that, or I can't pass up that. So, I feel like it's almost like, graduate school or something.
You've worked on quite a few very, very special ones. So of all the series you've worked on recently, which one did you find influencing your approach to the work on Quiz Lady the most?
Oh, gosh. I had not really thought about that. I mean, I would say that, certainly there's anywhere where there's comedy. So, for example, a little bit different, but some years ago I did an episode of Lady Dynamite with Maria Bamford, who makes a cameo in Quiz Lady. And there's something about like the whimsical, sort of goofy, yes, we are going there nature of some of those jokes that I felt are akin to some of the humor in Quiz Lady, where we just pushed things a little bit.
I'll ask you the reverse of that. Is there any show that you've worked on in another genre that you would most like to make a feature film in?
Actually, on American Horror Story, it was a really fun thing to go and like watch Rosemary's Baby and all those creepy movies of that era and try to figure out what creeps you out and how. I very much enjoyed that. I was like, oh yeah, it'd be really fun to do like a creepy dread movie. So yeah, that might be one.
That was the right answer. I like that. Come join us in the horror genre, please.
I sold one ticket.
I will definitely, I will buy a ticket, but I will encourage my friends. So I can guarantee you at least like 2 or 3 tickets.
Oh, okay. You got like 2 or 3 friends. Amazing.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about your cast here, because I heard in another interview that you, Awkwafina, and Sandra got to collaborate for something like a year before filming, which is very unusual, but also very, very exciting. So what is something that everyone can see in the finished film that you can attribute to having that extra time together?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Are we in like spoiler territory? There's a traumatic memory that the sisters have that involves digging a hole in the yard. That is straight out of Awkwafina's mind and perhaps experience. I don't want to like out her on that if that's not actually factual, but there was something, somebody like blurts out something in the room. We're all laughing, and then we're thinking, but could it be that? It's that kind of moment.
I will put the spoiler warning up for this and cut it out and save it for the appropriate time, but I have to follow up on that. Can you kind of walk us through whatever day that you were having that conversation where she just randomly suggested that of all things?
Yes. Okay. So we're in London. I was working there. Sandra was working there. Awkwafina came to join us, Jen D'Angelo, our screenwriter. So we're sitting around talking about the idea of childhood trauma, right? And how something that can seem small and absurd is like, for everybody else, it's like the Titanic, right? When you think about it in family terms. And so, so Awkwafina was like, yeah, I don't know, like, being embarrassed about going to the bathroom, and then like, I don't know, you like dig a hole and then someone finds it in the yard, and we were like, what was that? And again, I cannot say for sure that is actually something that happened, but it was that idea that could be the most humiliating and just third rail memory in this family, so that when they argue about it, they're not laughing about it, even if we are, because to them it's that's horrible. Yeah,
it plays so well in the movie. I couldn't believe it when he like came out of the blue, and then I'm like, oh no, this actually works and serves the story quite well.
Yeah. There's a ring of truth in there. And then so of course then we're all sharing our humiliating memories and, code of silence kind of thing. But yeah, it was...
It takes it to an 11 for sure, but I have to imagine that literally every person on this planet has had the fear of clogging a toilet in a strange home.
Oh, yeah, right. I know. Then we were all... Yeah, anyway. Suffice it to say, like, there was a challenge that... Awkwafina was like, she had a goal of trying to, like, if I were to wet my pants because something was so funny on screen, that like she was always trying to push that. And but anyway, all of that came out of that kind of conversation. So
you're talking to someone who grew up on Billy Madison and walked around all the time saying it's cool to pee in your pants. So like all of this really registers very well for me right now. Taking it into somewhat more serious direction. So clearly Awkwafina and Sandra work very, very well together. But can you tell us something unique about each of their approaches to their own work, where maybe it even calls for something different from you as their actor's director?
Sure. Oh, really great question. I mean, with Sandra, she prepares like no one else. And she has her own methods and inhabiting her character and movement work and all that. I wish she were here to talk about that. But I would say that it was really interesting to watch her go into detail about what is Jenny wearing? What does her makeup look like? How long are her lashes? What's she doing with her nails? All those things where, it's like your armor, you put it on and then you go into battle. So seeing her operate at that level and just enjoying it so much, that I thought was really useful, trying to get it right. What are Jenny's tattoos like? So she had like an Asian Tinkerbell done. It was kind of, or Asian fairy done, I should say. That was that kind of idea. And so that's kind of part of how she works. And with Awkwafina, I think she tends to absorb and really think about like all the conversations that we had, and just absorbs everything, but wants to see what comes out on the day. So they both do their work, but the way that it comes out is a little bit different. I think Sandra is more interested in rehearsal, and Awkwafina also, like, they respect each other so much that there were ways that I don't actually know on another project if, say, Awkwafina worked slightly differently. But here, it just felt very simpatico, the way that they approached things. And
you could feel it.
Yeah, and with Awkwafina too, especially just trying to allow her that room to just make jokes and order off the menu. Yeah.
Is there any particular scene in this movie where you all found it most challenging to find the pitch perfect balance between laugh out loud extreme comedy, but also making sure that their experiences still feel just grounded enough?
Sure. Actually, there's one scene that I think is one of my favorites, which is when they're in the emergency room and there's a dislocated wrist involved. So very physical humor there. And Sandra also wanted that wrist to really be flopping around. So, we start with this broader humor, and then it goes to a place that's as serious as we've gotten in the film so far. And so it was navigating that. In that scene, there are just little bits of silence that we allow ourselves in that it's not really elsewhere in the film, again, up to that point. And so I would say that was one where just trying to see, are we getting these beats, but also allowing for the air where it doesn't feel like two separate movies stuck together. And I thought that they really pulled it off beautifully.
That is such a good example, that particular scene. Now I must ask, like, literally everything about the moment when Anne auditions and she's tripping the entire time, because I was utterly delighted by that sequence. I guess my first question about that, what would you say is the biggest difference between how you pictured that scene looking when you first read it compared to what we get in the finished film?
Oh, yeah. That's the thing about visual effects, is that it's amazing what can be done. And sometimes you're thinking, oh, I just hope that they can do this, and you describe it. And then as it comes along, then you get something where like, whoa, that's even better. So I had the idea that I wanted to split screen their experiences. So we have both POVs in one shot. It's not a classic split screen because they're sitting in the same environment. And so I had the idea of one side is really colorful, fluffy clouds, singing birds. And on the other side, it's the grim reality of the, hotel conference room. And what our team came up with was this kind of bubble effect. So it's like she's in a soap bubble. Anne is in her happy world. And I just thought that was so cool.
If you could pinpoint one particular design detail that, in the end makes you go like, wow, I can't believe they let us go that far with this, which little detail would it be?
Oh, gosh. I mean, well, that they let us have 3 pug puppies. They were just like running all over the place. I don't know. Like they were, people, I mean, our producers, everybody was just really supportive of pushing things where we needed to. And so I think it kind of all felt like we were allowed.
Oh, I like hearing that you had that support behind you. Yeah. I also love highlighting the unexpected magic one can find on set. So can you maybe give me an example of a day when things weren't going to plan, you had to pivot, but in the process, you wound up finding some of that unexpected magic and a scene came out better off for it?
Yeah. We needed more misfortunes on set to answer this properly because actually we had it was such a fun shoot, very, very smooth. But actually, okay, so in the game show, there's that giant coin that is spun. And we love the idea of it's literally just a coin flip, but they turn it into the biggest deal imaginable. So that thing was heavy and constructed to give the weight to this moment. And spinning of the coin and it falls off and we're like, oh crap, like the mechanism kind of got broken. So those were full days and we had to kind of pivot. So I can't remember exactly what we pivoted to. I just remember that everybody was so cool about it. And that set with Jason Schwartzman and Will Ferrell and everybody just bantering about that there wasn't going to be a wasted moment, right? Okay, can't shoot the coin. We can jump into this. Everybody's ready and bring on the snoring pug, all of that. We could pull it together.
Every movie with a pug is infinitely better than any other movie that exists.
Pugs are perfect though, because especially here, because all Mr. Linguini needed to do was look like asleep or half dead. And pugs, they're really method. They will sit there. The only problem is sometimes they would, Crosby, who played Mr. Linguini, just start snoring. Nothing you can do. Just got to live with it,
The sweetest sound in the world, though. I love it. All right, I'll end with some silly game show questions now. So I'm going to name a couple of game shows that require contestants to have partners. I want you to tell me which member of the Quiz Lady cast you would want to be your partner on that particular show. All right, first one on my list is The Amazing Race.
Oh, gosh. Let's see. I would probably say, I'd say Sandra, because I think she would just, she would be a really good partner. And she got that energy and I think she could get that competitive drive going. So, yeah.
I would believe that. All right. Next one up is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? So basically your phone a friend person.
Jason Schwartzman, because he is a treasure trove of random information. Our first conversation was 45 minutes about the science of a fake smile. And he gave me a book about the study of facial expression. So he would know some stuff.
Wait, I want one example. What is one sign of a fake smile?
Well, of course, not reaching the eyes, but we went and he was like, I want to what's the prototype of, so we hung up and an hour later, I'm like, Jason, I know who it is. It's Mark Zuckerberg. And if you Google it, it's a little painful, but it is you could just see it. He's trying. So yeah, that was.
Oh, now we know what I'm going to be doing after this. All right. I have to end on this one. Who would be your partner for Can't Stop the Quiz's Show It Round?
Oh, I would say it would probably be, it depends on which side I would be on, but I do think it would be really funny if it were Holland Taylor doing the guessing, because she would just be like, I don't know. What are you doing? Get off the floor. And, we would lose, but it would be, we would win the audience hearts, I think, with that.
I would also come to watch that. So you have me to come and watch your horror movie and to watch the two of you play charades.
Oh my gosh. We've done so much good work here.
I know, really. And you've done great work with Quiz Lady. Huge congratulations. It is absolutely delightful. Put a big, genuine smile on my face the entire time.
Oh, yeah. Non-Zuckerberg smile.
Yes. Sorry, only non-Zuckerberg smiles over here. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.